Muted.
I have to come running from the other side of the world just to be in your meetings, Albert. You should like be grateful.
Wait, what? Wait, sorry, I was not listening.
Well, you should have. That's so disrespectful. How can you be so ungrateful? I had to come running from the other side of the world just to be in your meeting. Like, just be grateful.
Who are you talking about? I'm so lost.
About you!
Me?
Yes, you should be grateful that I came running from the other side of the world just to be in your meeting.
Where are you?
In my house.
Yeah, but that's not the other side of the world. That's like
No, I came running.
in the city.
No, I came running from the other side of the world. I went home and I joined your meeting.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Viva, say what do you want to say?
Before we start, can I quickly take a cast picture, please?
Yes.
Thank you, everyone. Cheese, and is this okay? Is this permission? Is this okay with everyone?
Send it to me later for Gus.
Is this
So Isabel, don't do
Okay,
that
run
with
them.
your ass face.
Okay, ready?
Hello?
Okay, cool.
It's
What?
for Gus.
It's for Gus.
For activity.
We have
You'll
to
understand
basically-
next year. You'll understand.
Oh,
Yeah.
alright.
We have
Anyone
to
who's-
just like, take pictures of everything and everything.
Yeah.
Anyone who's using this for cast, remember like you can use it for cast or like.
What do you mean? Oh wait, but do you have to take pictures so you can show us evidence, or don't
Evidence.
we?
So
Yes.
basically,
Have you seen me with like this yellow thing, right, where it says Samia? Yeah, that I was doing service. These 2 days I've been doing service for 20 hours.
Oh yeah, being like the mother of like 25-year-olds, like
I know, of grown-ass men that don't know how to walk through the school. Like, our school is this tiny, bro. And we're in a huge school. Like, seriously.
I saw you and you're like a kindergarten teacher.
Yeah,
At this
exactly.
point, like
I
you're
had to
worse
scream on
kindergarten.
top of my lungs, and they were telling me their life, how they're the teacher of like ICT, and they teach stuff.
And you
that's
look
how
so
they,
pissed
how
off.
much
You
they
were like,
love
You're
our
like,
school.
that way.
Wait, is Mark on the call?
They had to move their ass, seriously.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, do you know anything about like Sandro and Max? I think his name
Knowing
was.
Sandro, he probably
Who?
forgot.
Sandro?
Sandro, Max, and the other Ilya, like year 11.
Max is in Maxime. I know Maxime is
Oh
not
yeah,
joining.
yeah, sorry, Maxim, yeah.
Is Maxime coming though?
No, Maxime is not joining. I know that.
Okay.
Wait,
Sandro,
who's
not
Maxim?
sure.
Even better.
They're on your team, Samia. They're like they
I'm
support
mean
the two
to everyone.
states.
Like, just
It's better
it's
for
like
us.
how I show love, you know?
Oh wait, isn't Maxim from your class, Samia?
Yes.
Oh. Alright.
Okay, there's like some people who are gonna be joining a little late, like in 2 minutes. I received text for like, okay, we wait until 7:40 and after we start.
We're gonna start the debate already.
No, we start like the whole like thing.
Alright.
What am I
Unless we
waiting
can.
for?
Unless we can like already start separating into like groups and maybe.
Oh, okay, yeah. Everybody and like 3 people.
Exactly. Wait, who? I'm still uncertain of the number of people that are gonna be in our site.
Not so many.
Hey.
Everyone except for Albert.
Not so many.
I'm with Oliver because I felt
Andrew's doing, and our like Edward got
You don't
like
have
forced
to
into
feel bad.
joining.
It's not about feeling bad. It's about
Don't
doing
feel
what's
bad for
right.
him.
It's
It's
about
It's
your
about
heart
winning,
says
guys.
it's no, you
Stand
say
up for
no.
yourself.
But I feel
So who cares about Albert's feelings?
Yeah,
Well,
but
I
we
don't
don't care
care
about.
I
don't
thought I
care
didn't
about
have a
it.
choice. I don't care. I thought I didn't have a choice. I didn't know how
Alright.
to choose.
Albert, you're a hairdresser.
You have
clearly
to choose
does
like
not
on
care about
gunpoint.
you.
Like.
I was just told on on my DMs. You're in my side. I'm like okay. Like, I was
Okay,
given
really?
a choice.
Blink twice if Albert is forcing you to do this.
And we're like,
Okay, wait. Okay, can someone like create a Google Meet for like the two-state solution team, and I'll create one for the one-state solution team? Because like if I create both, it's kind of like,
It's kind of like what?
it's kind of like
because like I can join both of them.
How many
Oh
people
well,
are
I
here?
guess you have your morals. if
you
want
can
to
just
join.
leave the other one and be a nice citizen
Exactly.
and,
Okay, so, like-
and do it for us.
Yeah, that's what I did last time, but like, bro, just be helpful, please. Yeah. You wanna
I
be-
don't know how to create another good
Yeah,
one.
say I don't know how to create
If
one.
I'm honest.
IT student or something.
What do you mean
Yeah.
another group?
Okay, I'll just create one myself. no worries.
Another Google Meets.
Okay, I'll just create one. Make sure you can like enter.
Sure. Keep creating another one.
Because we don't know how to create it.
No, it's because like right now we're gonna be separating into two groups. The ones who like support the two-state solution, and the
So
one
you're gonna be alone in a meet.
in groups. 'Cause we're gonna be in
Why
two
does
separate
everyone
meets.
hate you?
Depressing.
We're gonna be in
Okay,
two
yeah.
separate meets.
No. You go to the other side, Ilya.
No. Ilya's with y'all. No. Or what?
He's with
Yeah.
us, but he's
Okay, I think we should
Oh,
just
he's
join
with
the
us?
other one.
Okay.
yeah.
I'm gonna start joining the other one.
Wait.
I'm gonna
No,
stay
you're
here
not-
to
you're not
see
allowed
who's left. I'm gonna stay here to see who's left. Maybe there's a ghost or something, you know?
A ghost.
Yeah, a ghost. Because nobody's gonna be with him. You
Too
know?
much horror drama.
Aubrey, why does everyone hate you?
We don't hate him, you know? It's just-
No, we don't hate him. He's just like
We don't hate him, it's just he's
don't
lonely.
hate
You know? He's a loner.
A loner who's gonna win this. So like.
Of course.
No,
Okay, Matt, what side are you? We only need one person.
Me?
Two state. See, two.
No.
What?
No. 100% no.
Exactly.
Wait. What
Like-
side?
I the one state, but I don't really support it. I think no of them would work actually, but
Okay, but she's on the one state side.
But which
Yeah,
one
it's
is the
a
most?
Last.
Yeah.
it's like
That's
that's like
Auburn's.
90% probably that in 3 days there would be like a civil war.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like a beautiful idea, but I don't think it would work out. I like it, but
The one state solution is a
Well,
utopian idea.
just to like
yeah, it wouldn't
clarify,
work. I guess so.
just to
Yeah,
clarify,
exactly. That's why. If it wouldn't work, then you're in the two-state solution team.
No, it wouldn't work either.
It would work better than what it
Guys,
would
guys,
work
guys,
now.
guys, guys,
It will work.
We have our arguments, don't
Yeah,
worry.
everyone's
We'll
gonna-
persuade you sometime.
How can
We'll
I mute
persuade
people?
you.
Wait, hold on. Oh, there you go. I can mute people. Okay, cool. Okay, basically, I'm gonna briefly explain how this is gonna work because it's already 7:40. So now we're gonna separate into two groups. We're gonna go over our speeches, our arguments, rebuttals, etc. We're gonna prepare the whole thing. We're gonna rejoin at 8:05, and afterwards the debate is going to start. Also, there's people who are gonna be joining like after we already separate into groups. So I'll just like you may hear me speaking in this main group, telling them to like join one or the other, based on whatever they believe.
Okay.
Having said this, also the question is what solution is better. That does not mean which one is more feasible, because both in this moment are hyper unfeasible.
Oh, what? Wait, then I'm for this one state solution then.
No. We have arguments.
Yeah.
If you're not talking about peaceful.
We have arguments. No. We have arguments.
Albert, you didn't say that
Anyway,
when you were
thanks
telling
for
us
the
about
Albert,
the.
you just
Albert,
changing the
Albert,
question
Albert.
right now.
Because now then we can change the motion suddenly and say, oh, which one is more realistic? You've changed the motion.
No, I didn't. That's a motion. Hold on. Let me go to the WhatsApp.
It's not the motion.
Okay,
I'm
the
sorry,
question-
guys. I'm going one state as well.
No. You, okay, hold on. I'm gonna read out the
Yeah,
question.
if it's not more
kill
peaceful,
you. I'm gonna
one
kill you
state makes
tomorrow.
way more sense.
It does.
Okay, guys, hold on. I'm just gonna read out the question. This is what we're answering. Should the solution to the conflict be result to the creation of a one or a two-state government/nation? That is the question we're answering.
Yeah, that's a
you
question.
just added that feasible part now.
Exactly.
What?
You
Maybe
can't
we
just
can
do
add that
You
realistic
just
part
Change
now.
the rules.
You're the person who
Exactly,
picks the
Albert.
motion,
We
you can't
caught
just
you
change
lacking.
them.
We caught you cheating.
How did you catch? How did you catch it?
Bro knew he wasn't gonna have no support, so he changed his vote.
Leave him, why
Exactly,
would you
Albert.
care?
Be
He's like
fair.
a loner.
Be
Like,
fair.
just let him be. Like, just.
Okay, hold on. It doesn't.
Fine.
That is.
Okay, the people that just switch back.
No, y'all can't switch. Y'all can't switch anymore. Y'all stay with your team. Okay.
Okay, that's
Okay.
great. You're alone. Either way.
I'm not. Okay, hold on. Y'all understand the question? Because like that was what I believe it did not change. That was like the question we were like agreeing on last
No,
time.
you did change it.
Yeah, you changed
No, I
it.
didn't. No, it
Yes,
didn't.
you did. We're
One
smarter than you. What are you
two-state
talking about?
solution, and then one of the arguments, like you could say it's feasible or not feasible, that does not enter, like
But
the actual.
you can still use that.
Exactly. We can
okay.
still use that because it doesn't enter the motion, so it's a perfectly good argument.
Yeah. So just use it. Yeah, you can use whatever y'all want. Anyhow, okay, Kevin, you're here. I think we can now separate into the group chats. Oh wait, because like you cannot see the links, right? Okay, I'm resending the links once more. Okay, here, one state solution, two state solution. I'm gonna set a timer 25 minutes. By the end of the 25 minutes, we rejoin, and we start the debate. Okay.
Do we stay in this one though?
What?
Do we stay in this one like me and
Yeah, definitely.
and then
Stay
we
just
go
like
to them?
you can just turn your cameras off. So like.
Okay, that's good. Alright.
Okay,
Goodbye,
see you in
guys.
25 minutes.
Bye.
Bad idea. Like.
Wait. Why are there so many people who support the one state now? Like the question did not change, bro. Like,
It did change. You didn't
Wait.
clarify. So
My understanding of the question changed. So yeah, it did change.
okay, look, hold on. When Isabel asked me privately, I said the motion is in order to put a stop to the currently unfolding Israeli-Palestinian conflict, should the solution to be implemented be that of a two-state system or a one-state system? And afterwards, to Viva's response, because you also asked me, right?
you didn't clarify.
It was. Well, I
You
sent
said
you audio.
voice audio. It didn't. You didn't clarify.
The way that the question is phrased kind of makes it sound like more peaceful until you think about it. So
Okay, cool. Anyhow, in that case, wait, where's Joe? Wait, okay. Okay, so we can just start with the arguments. I found a few arguments. There's actually a total of, let me see, 6 arguments in favor of the one-state solutions. But let's just start hearing your ideas. So every single one of you, just what do y'all think? Why are you arguing in favor of the one state? And afterwards, we start like elaborating the speeches. Let's start with Eva. Okay, or whoever wants to start. Andrew, like.
Okay, I can start. I have like a brainstorm. I mean, becoming one state is not. It's more like utopian, as you said. Like, it's not a realistic solution. But if it could be made, if there's I mean, the problem about international forces is that there is no like higher coercive force that can make countries, individual countries, like they cannot be forced into contracts because in the end they are like individuals, right? But if the one state solution could be implemented, it would mean the end of the conflict between the two states. That's my fair argument. Also, as one state, the resources, like the economies and the resources, can be like joined together and be stronger. Okay, kind of like that, but it also faces like many challenges, like cultural integration, all the differences, also after the war,
Okay, good, thank you. Next, Matilde. Also, you may see me like switching on my cameras because Josephine has switched sides and like they're not letting her in. So like I'm gonna have to make them let her in. So yeah.
Can I
Y'all
switch
just
sides now?
You want to switch sides?
Yeah, I want to
Can
go
I
to the
switch
other side.
sides?
One first. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Then switch
Bye.
sides. I'm gonna. Y'all
I'll
continue.
stay with you. I'll stay with you.
Okay.
Albert.
Okay, that's it. We cannot switch anymore. Like that's it. Here we are. Continue like ideating. I'm gonna try to like make them like allow them to join that group. So continue speaking.
Not like I kind of finished my argument. I want to like, it's just an introduction.
am I supposed to go next?
Yeah, just like everyone like their opinions and yeah.
Okay. I basically have like 5 reasons. I'll keep it a bit shorter. 3 reasons. One of them is just it's more practical because it's what you said as well, that there's more resources for both people. It's easier. Another one is just I don't really know what to call it. I guess kind of equality, because they both have a claim to it. So do Christians. You know, it's Jerusalem. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. It's the holy land of three religions. So makes sense for them to all be allowed to own it. Well, to say it like that. And then the other one is I feel like should, theoretically, if we're not talking more peaceful, if they manage to kind of iron things out, it will probably be better for both of them. By which I mean they will they will be more democratic, so to say. They'll be more equal. I don't know how to say it another way. I think I'm not explaining myself really well, but it's okay. Viva can go next.
Yeah, Mark kind of hit on all the points that I wanted to say, but I also wanted to add, just for like as Albert said in his like when he was explaining the question, like the practicality of it. Realistically, both the governments aren't going to like both eh, both groups aren't going to agree on a specific thing, or like if there were to separate into two, they wouldn't. I don't think they would agree to do that in a peaceful manner in which we're trying to well, as the question says, we're trying to make this as peaceful as possible and while still making it feasible. So I think that we have to talk about the peaceful aspect of it, that it's not really feasible like in whatsoever, and yeah, what Mark said.
Okay, I think it's my turn.
I take
So
into
I
account.
completely
guess it's
agree with
working
that.
now. I guess.
So I guess
Could
the
you guys
reason I
send
would
the link
say
again,
maybe a
please?
one-state solution is
It's
better.
because I was using my
is,
school account.
Like we said, what's important is in this question is the peaceful aspect of it. And I think if it was just two-state solution, there is going to have to be divisions, like lines drawn,
Cool.
and it's not going to be good for either side. And there are like Israelites and Palestinians that live like where they live and each person's they live close together. So any type of division isn't going to be perfect for either side, which is eventually going to lead to more conflict. It's just not going to be stable. I guess that's my solution.
I wanted to add, I think that we should probably bring up that, like, the fact that even if maybe, I don't know if this is like good, but hear me out here. If we say that it's like, if we were to consider the hypothetical that it was going to go into a two-state solution, maybe we could bring up the fact that they wouldn't agree on maybe the size that each party got, and they would start another war and it would just lead to more death. I don't know if that's good enough, but we could bring it up maybe.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say, but I articulated it horribly. But yeah,
Sorry,
and
I didn't know whether that was
no, it's good. You basically explained what I was trying to say, which I just feel that. But yeah, I think that's a strong argument. We're saying like basically together it's gonna be better for both parties. It's unrealistic, like everyone was saying, but as Andrew was saying, it's better for the economy. It's better because it's gonna be more stable for longer, and even though they're both not realistic, if we're looking for a peaceful solution, it's even kind of more realistic when we're talking about peace, I guess. And also, in case they mentioned, I think we had mentioned how culturally this would be really unrealistic because it's hard to have a one nation solution because of the differences in culture. If we also want to like look at this argument maybe through a historical lens, in one of the videos Albert sent, which I was watching, it talked about, I mean, like before all of this, like when this conflict first started, it used to be like Ottoman land, right? And when it was Ottoman, it was both Catholics and Muslims that lived there. So I think historically, a one nation country, just a one nation that has multiple cultures and religions in that area has historically worked. And it was pretty peaceful in the Ottoman times until England just came and ruined everything.
I was also gonna say the Ottoman thing. That's like the best point. And then I was also gonna say if they try to say the historical claim thing, which I know for a fact Samia is gonna try to say, that Palestine has a historical claim on the land. I mean we can, I mean any country can have historical claim to like some of the land around them. That's not a good argument. I don't think we're gonna have to go too deep into that. So yeah.
Yeah, and the question is about peaceful. So even if one has a historical claim, sure, that's great. Maybe they do deserve to have that land, but
Yeah.
that's not going to lead to.
constant, but
Exactly.
if we do it once, it will like probably if there's conflict between them, then we have to change it, and it's like so much work, so much war, so much like essentials that are gonna be to waste. And the second point, honestly, if I think about it, none of both of the ideas are not that good. Like I feel like just Palestine should have Palestine itself, and that's it. Like that's my honest view, because like since
But
the
also
beginning,
like
Palestine
the
was
process.
Palestine. I don't know where Israel came from. Like honestly, that's my opinion. Like where did Israel people come from?
Yeah, like maybe we're not gonna get at that extreme, but
Yeah,
like
we're gonna go with our idea,
hopefully. But
but
the
like
main thing,
to be
like
honest,
the argument I'm focusing on is like the process to get there is already not realistic because
Exactly.
there must be a sort of voting procedure because you're essentially changing these people's lives by forming a unified government, and the people themselves will not vote for that. So either you do a one state solution with an anti democratic procedure, or you get a two-state solution which is democratic, and you will have the time with two states. What we're doing is leaving the countries, giving them first their first wish, which is independence, and second of all leaving them time to heal from the scars caused by the previous conflicts of trying to unify and take territories. Because if we don't give those countries time to heal, then they will not be able to unify or like trade or even speak to each other again. So
Is it a bad idea to talk about like the terrorist groups won't stop even if they are just one country? Like they would probably even intensify their actions against humanity. I think that's a big problem here.
Yeah, I think that's also very valid because like if Albert starts saying the thing about feasibility and that doesn't count, blah blah blah, we can say that okay, let's say it doesn't count. If we basically force these people, as Elena said, into becoming one state, as Matt already said, there's gonna be civil wars. There's gonna be and the terrorist groups might even do like worse things, which is probably is gonna affect like what's happening right now is gonna be like 100 times bigger than what will happen then.
Yeah, and it could cause a world
Yeah,
war. Like it's already to the extent to getting
exactly,
into a world
exactly.
war. Like what I said, basically my idea, it's just adding up, right? It just like if all the whole process of already becoming a two state is already hard enough, But like if we make it one state and then have to do the process again, I feel like it's gonna cause like everything, like world war, which can affect us, and it could be the end of our world, like legit. It's just to the extreme. Because like now we have the essentials, we have the military services that have improved a lot through history, right? So I feel like we can mention the conflicts if like, okay, maybe if you use your idea of doing one state and then it ends up bad and we have to do it again, what is the point, of deciding if it's going to be like the worst decision, we don't have our whole life, if we do it we have to do it like now, because like it will affect the citizens more than the government, people are dying already. There's going to be the double people dying because of that, if the decisions are not made clearly.
Wait, something real fast. Do you guys have any like source or like information or news that contradicts to the one states where like is there any example that has like already been reality that one state solution has never worked out? So like we can use it against Albert if we have any of this news or anything.
Um, I don't have news, but we have history, like many examples. So these
Yeah,
things
sure.
that didn't
If you
work.
have like history, maybe you get
Also,
like
I just
the
typed
sentences.
up really
Yeah.
quickly. The Washington Institute has a paper on a one state solution is unworkable. And they basically say like how it's like unfeasible. People are not going to vote this. So I'm just going to like leave that here. I didn't really read through it that much because I just typed that up really quickly. So that can be like our como una
I just
muleta.
found something.
Use
I
it.
just found something super good. I found this website. It starts with saying the two-state solution would create an independent Israel and Palestine and is the mainstream approach to resolving the conflict. The idea is that Israelis and Palestinians want to run their countries differently. Israelis want a Jewish state and Palestinians want a Palestinian one. So like, of course, if we can also say that depend if we create one state, not everybody's gonna, of course there will be a democracy, people will get to vote, but if the government doesn't agree with each other, there's going to cause conflict. And of course Israel people just want Jewish people inside their country, right? So then I feel like if they have independent like countries for themselves, I feel like that would be easy. Nobody will get into a fight. They can do whatever, the government can do whatever they want, whatever they want to decide, and there's nothing to get mad about. At least Palestine is offering to like share some land that is not even to doesn't even belong to Israel. I feel like they should at least be grateful. I feel like we could talk about that as well. I'll add the website as well.
Um, it doesn't have anything common with this, but I think they will talk about how economy will improve because there are like two countries and it's the double of resources. Does anyone know how to refute this?
Yeah, we can say, are you going to sacrifice a better economy and sacrifice the people's voices, what people actually want? Because, okay, the economies are going to be joined, but what does it serve if the like global, like it's going to be even more stratified because Palestinian people are not going to be able to work with Israeli people. So, okay, the wealth will be joined, but in actual functioning terms, in the long term, it won't be economically beneficial.
Exactly. And another thing, we can add two things more. Like everything we said, that if we're gonna do one process and then it goes wrong and we have to do another process, okay, what about the economy? It's gonna get worse after we have to do the second option, right? And then another thing is that, okay, fine. What if like um wait, I forgot what I was gonna say. Yeah, like, okay, Israel has alliances and like countries that are allies with them, and then Palestinian has others. Like Palestinian has Russia, China, and then sorry, Israel has America. Of course this also affects kind of, because like if they're in one state, then of course the alliances can't do anything anymore, right? They have to do it in one as well. But if America has attacked Palestine, then I don't think Palestine will try to want to become allies with America, right? We could also talk about the alliances. If they're together and they were uh, involved in the war that is happening now, then I feel like I don't think Palestine would like to join in a one state solution, right? If you know what I mean. Like,
yeah, Albert's basing on his argument about a governmental body like Switzerland, that each location will have a representative, but I don't think it will work out because there's such diverse difference between Palestine and Israel. Even though they have diverged together, there's inequality in technologies, pharmacy and agriculture, and I'm not sure. I don't think Israel would like to share that with Palestine if they merge together. So the situation will still continue. And Albert also mentioned that perhaps, I think he will exemplify that Jerusalem was a place where the three religions had peacefully engaged together, but we need to acknowledge that is a momentary peace. The theme is about conflict throughout the history. So we cannot use that scratch or fragment of time to represent this situation. And even this situation is incompatible with the Jerusalem time as well.
Moreover, there's also like the problem, which is connected to Elena. Remember, she mentioned something, is that the socioeconomic disparity, because like the Israel country is like ranked as the fourth most successful economy. So if you think about it, how are you gonna mix two economies that has different like levels in like in the economy added together? Have you ever thought about that? So we can also use that against him, because I also have like this source that says, well, that it's obvious. It states that the economy's ranking of Israel as the fourth most successful economy in 2022, and so we can use that as well. All right, but like, is Aubrey really going to like is he going to take points away if we go over the time?
I don't think we're gonna go either way.
Like if you put
Do you
the time
Albert is so lazy. Like,
yeah, he will. Also, Kevin, I really liked your rebuttals, so maybe we could keep you for also rebuttals with like the rebuttaling team, because you're like attacking the arguments that Albert is gonna exactly make. So I think we should also like take in mind, leave Kevin speak, because he has really good.
Yeah. Wait, Kevin,
very
isn't
strong.
Albert a bit like uncautious? The fact that he told you his arguments and you know them, isn't that a bit like stupid, if to say?
On the phone because I don't have my laptop here. So can someone like make all the arguments like together, because it's a bit chaotic here.
Let's divide it. Who were the three people who were doing the arguments? It was me. I think it was Mark. Okay, how are we doing? Who wants to do which arguments?
I think we should just go in order, like from 1 to 6. But the thing is,
1 to 6 aren't really arguments.
What is the meaning of
promotion
of coexistence?
But what's the order?
Who wrote that?
ChatGPT. You don't know what it is. Let's just like,
y'all can like change like the vocabulary and the arguments. Y'all can like change the wording, and everyone y'all are gonna elaborate on it. I'm just like mentioning like the concise version of them.
Wait. Mark, what are your like main reasons for supporting this side? Like, what are your main ideas?
Guys, I found the graph.
Ignore the graph. Just Mark, what are your primary ideas?
Right.
oh my god.
Probably what I said before, which
this is from 2015 as well.
That's good. That's good.
But it's okay.
Albert, like legit, like this is my like divine inspiration idea. I think these ChatGPT arguments they're not taking us anywhere.
Are not the best. I mean,
I'll do the two good ones, which are practicality and equality. Edward, you can do economy, and then Andrew.
Albert, this is an idea right now. It might be crazy, but I think you should like state those arguments when you're doing the introduction, so it sounds professional. And then
that's exactly what I was gonna do, bro.
Mark can go first, then Andrew can go, and I can go last, or whatever order. Like I don't really care. Okay. And then, like if I'm last, I'll just present like my ideas, which they haven't said before. Or if I have to restate a couple, like the first thing we did when we first got on this call was we each said like our main reasons, and I think they were all like different enough, and they were all like pretty convincing. So and we can build on top of each other. So I don't think I think having strictly following like a ChatGPT list is just gonna make it so we don't follow like our actual reasoning and arguments, which I think are good. So we can just like off the dome, like off our brain, like our main arguments that are close to us, I guess.
Exactly.
Okay, so
I'm just mentioning them, and you're elaborating on them, and like really getting into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we don't need to follow the exact list, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Like just say what comes to your mind. Why do you raise your hand? Just
You don't have to raise your hand every time you want to speak.
I don't want to talk over you. Okay. So if Samia or anyone else does say the historical context, can I please respond?
You can 100% respond and use your chart.
Thank you.
Yes, Viva.
Wait, where's the chart? It's not there.
There's
see
four
it.
graphs.
Where are they? Oh wait, they're like all the way down there. Religious landscape of Central and they're not gonna like analyze this. They're so big.
It looks smart. Don't even.
The Ottoman one just says they're like all Muslims.
There we go. Samia can't say shit. Samia can't. Sorry.
This is like against us, I think.
Wait,
Yeah,
what are y'all talking about?
Actually,
the
Wait,
last
where?
one, like
Eva.
religious affiliation. Sorry, what?
Sorry. That
The
one.
last graph that you posted. Oh, okay, it just disappeared. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Nothing.
I've got 1 minute left.
Nothing.
So.
Wait, what was Jordy doing again?
What?
Like, Albert, wait, is Jordy just like, what was he doing?
Do you want to present an argument, Jordy?
I mean, first off, with all due respect, what side are we taking here? I mean, I know it's 100% on me for being late to this meeting.
No. It's on Albert for choosing an idea. We're the bad idea. The one state.
It's a good idea because like it is the actual
one state. But my question now is which state?
So like creating a united state of like
unifying.
Yeah.
Unifying?
Like becoming one single.
I think it's an important part of it. Yeah, saying that it's not one or the other.
We're not technically specifying which, because that changes everything. Then we'll have
I think
14.
if anything, I think
essentially what you're trying to like defend here is what they wanted to do, what Israel wanted to do with Palestine originally in 1947.
They wanted
like
to
invading it
because Israel wanted to have Palestine join their sovereignty. Here we're trying to like establish a mutual sovereignty.
Yeah, exactly.
Arabs and Jews like govern the country.
It's completely different if it's the Israelites that are like reigning over them, or if it's like together. I guess.
Okay, well, guys, time's up. Let's join.
Also, Jordy, we understand this isn't a good idea. We're just here because we.
Viva, no raising your hand.
Yeah, I'm just.
One last thing. Should I cut off the source survey conducted?
We need those to like. Okay.
Lucky we have Kelvin. You know,
I don't know. Like Albert's not saying anything, but we're set. We're set, guys.
Oh,
wait. And each of us are gonna have the rebuttalers are gonna have 1.5 minutes per each rebuttal. So and also the other team can also like counterattack on rebuttal after each person finishes. So like you gotta be ready for like the questions, the rebuttals from the rebuttal. I'm not sure how to explain it, but you gotta respond as well.
I mean,
That's
we'll
why
see.
we can have first Kevin, which he's gonna rebuttal the first main points, and then Samia, she can improv more. She can go through improvisation, and then Matt also can improv and add her arguments. So I think like our structure is gonna be really good.
Yeah.
And if there's like any help, I can jump in.
Okay, hello everyone. Let's rejoin.
Okay.
Let's go back to
Bye,
the
guys.
main meeting
Bye,
because the
Winnie.
debate is going to be starting.
Just to let you know, you're gonna lose.
Okay, time is up. We're gonna get started. Just start getting back here. And please say yes in the comment chat below if like you're ready. Like, well, not if you're ready, but like everything's working. You're ready for the debate, kind of. Cool. What do you mean let your other account in? I don't have any like thingy appearing on my screen. Let you in. Isabel, I don't. Okay, hold on. I think I did receive something. don't know who that is. Anyhow. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna officially get started now. Lucy, I'm gonna ask you, since like you're not taking any sides really, you're just like managing like the meeting kind of in some kind of way. If you can present a timer on the screen, because evidently there's times, and if you go over 10 seconds, you'll get penalized.
How,
Yes.
Albert? How?
How what?
How am I
you'll
gonna
learn
get
toast.
penalized?
What?
How am I
Yeah,
gonna
how
get
penalized?
penalized?
You'll get less point.
Albert, Albert.
Camilla, you left.
Why?
Yeah,
Why?
someone has questions?
I got a toaster.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, get
Wait, what?
muted.
Toaster?
Laura, what happened to your hair, Albert?
Oh god. Another one. It's a new haircut. It's a new hairstyle. It's the new me.
Fresh, man.
I don't love it.
Thank you, Edward, for your contribution. Yeah, Viva, ask your question.
Albert, 10 seconds is insane. Can you at least give us 15?
I agree.
Please.
Wait, for what?
I need
please.
to talk, and 10
Wait,
seconds
only
is gonna let
15
me talk.
seconds per person?
It's insane.
No,
Albert.
no, 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 no,
Are
no,
you
no.
crazy?
Albert,
Okay, people,
I'll
shut
be
up.
seconds isn't enough
I'll
for
be
your
rapping.
chat GPT arguments, bro.
Okay, everyone, shush, please. I'm sorry, but like, shush. Essentially, 10 seconds is if you go over time. So let me clarify this. Introductions are 1.5 minutes. So that's a total of 90 seconds for introductions. Later, as mentioned on WhatsApp, let me find it. For the
No one check
arguments,
WhatsApp. No.
your team presents the arguments, and both teams have 5 minutes to present all of their arguments.
Then why is there 3 minutes?
What?
There? Why is there a 3-minute sector?
Where? What? Lucy is gonna change it now. Like the thing that you see on the screen, don't worry about it. Like it's gonna be.
But I mean, the introduction also adds an argument, so I'm not sure how you're gonna evaluate that.
The introduction, yeah, only. Well, I mean, we'll just see how you introduce. It's fine. Like, it's okay. Just elaborate on arguments in the 5-minute space. In the introduction, you just mention them probably. Unless if you want to elaborate, you can also do that. And afterwards, rebuttals. Rebuttals will be. Let me see. 1 to 5 minutes per rebuttal, and afterwards the other side can also answer in a 1 minute time frame. Let me just
Wait.
Yes.
So like if I do this introduction right now and I start already for 1 minute, and then this count of 10 seconds will only apply afterwards. I already finished my 1 minute, and then she puts this 10 seconds, right?
So look, it's 90 seconds. If you go 90 seconds, good. If you go 95 seconds, it's all right. If you go 85 seconds, it's all right. If you go if you go over 100 seconds, then you're penalized. Like,
all right.
Let me just quickly check. Let's just be silent for 1 minute. I gotta check whether our referee is here.
Who's
so just
your
give me
referee?
Pablo. So give me just 1 minute.
All right.
If y'all have questions, you can also ask.
Chairman?
I think he meant chairman, but
Albert, can we make questions to the other team during the refuttals? No.
During the rebuttals, yes. So like
Yeah, but...
rebuttal, and afterwards you can also like ask questions to the opposing team.
Okay, so we raise the hand, or what do we do?
Yeah, you can raise your hand. So after the rebuttal has ended, you raise your hand and you have a minute. Well, for questions, however long the question is.
How many? Like only one person can talk during our rebuttal, or?
Yeah, so rebuttals are individual. It's like if you've got something to say, you say it. Like your rebuttal, like you rebut the opposing team's argument or something they said.
Anyone can make a question during the other's rebuttal, right?
After the rebuttal has ended, yeah.
And there are any rules about the questions? Because there are normally some.
Well, I mean, evidently, don't be disrespectful and like.
Yeah, no, but I don't mean like that because normally in debates, like you have a rule stated that a question cannot be an attack.
Out of topic. Well, I mean, here it can be as long as you want. Just like
No, an
yeah.
attack. I mean like I can ask something with like a double meaning, but I cannot rebuttal in a question.
Yeah, well, yeah, evidently. You cannot
Okay.
rebuttal. It's a question you're asking if you want to ask a question.
Isn't your Edward is playing football in his room while we're talking about the debate?
I know.
Yes.
He just went onto his bed, bro.
He
I
better
love
be
that
ready
guy.
for the debate. Oh God.
I was gonna say something. I was gonna say, are you gonna tell us like when to rebuttal, or you just go for it?
Okay, so basically, we're gonna proceed with introductions. If whichever side wants to start, I don't know. Does the like two-state introducer want to start, or like should we start?
I think you guys should start. They want
Do
to
the
say
wheel. Do the wheel. Do the wheel.
Oh God. Okay.
Wait, but that means that each
I
group
asked
is an introduction,
Siri.
right?
Siri.
Sure.
Can we
One
just
state
start
is-
already?
One
Yeah,
state
okay.
is 1, 2 state is 2. Okay. Hey Siri. Choose a
Okay.
number between 1 and 2.
Oh God.
It's 2. 2 states starts.
Okay, so having said this, we're now starting the debate. Two-state solution. Those who are in favor of the two-state solution can now start the debate. Viva, shut up, please. Sorry.
No, come on, that's not fair.
Okay, answer.
For the questions, if we are to ask questions, can we show a graph?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. Introduction. Two-state solution starts. Lucy, timer. No, but Lucy, timer is 1 minute 90 seconds. 90 seconds.
That's what I was wondering, bro. 10 seconds.
That's just
I'm gonna be rapping.
That's just gonna change it. Can you just like edit it?
Edit what?
No, I'm telling you, Lucy. Samia, why are you eating in the debate?
I'm hungry.
This be for real. Okay. No, other way around.
No, that's not. Okay.
Are they?
Wait, what is that?
It's
No,
not my problem. You don't eat, Albert.
Oh wait, no, actually no, Lucy, you were doing the right thing. Yeah, because it's 1 minute 50 seconds. So like 1 minute 30 seconds. So yeah, go up. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Two-state solution introduction starts in 3, 2, 1, go.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we stand here today in our position in this debate, we firmly believe that the two-state solution is clearly an undeniable fact that stands as a beacon of hope in the midst of the long-standing Israeli-Palestinian conflict, offering a path to peace that prioritizes the preservation of national identities, which is our first argument. Since these two groups that have distinct history, culture, and identity that both should be respected and upheld, however, merging them as a single entity, which is the alternative proposition from the opposite group, only threatens to fan the flames rather than extinguishing them. Moreover, the two-state solution allows each side to maintain their national sovereignty as well as to flourish independently without fear of blending or weakening. Now, speaking of having both groups mixed, have you ever reflected that if the one-state solution were to happen, would Palestinians be integrated into the Israeli military and police and be given leadership roles? Or could Palestinians gain access to Israel's most sensitive national secrets, including those of a nuclear nature? These questions underscore the complications that come with a single-state solution predicated on equality, which is what the opposite group is presenting to us today. Moreover, the socioeconomic disparities between Israeli Jews and Palestinians further complicate the concept of a unified state. Since the economy's ranking of Israel as the fourth most successful economy among developed countries for 2020, this shows that there's an enormous financial contrast between these two groups. And since where Israel has a higher income and wealth, while the Palestinian are not, and attempting to level these economic imbalances causes an even greater opposition among Israelis Jews, thereby making this conflict even worse.
I feel like you should put the sound on, because like imagine you're reading from something and then suddenly you don't hear the noise and you don't know when to stop. I feel like that's what happened.
Yeah, probably. Lucy, can you do that? Or
I'm also gonna read from something, so
Exactly. If you read from something, it's like you don't have a timer to like make the sound, so you just like you just miss out.
yeah.
Well, the problem is if the alarm has the sound, I need to turn on my mic. So
Wait, okay, so like when 1 minute and 30 seconds passes, I'm gonna do like this, okay? So whoever's speaking can just identify.
I'll just scream because like my like when
No,
you
no,
hear my
no,
voice,
no,
you
no,
wake
no,
up.
don't scream. I'll automatically scream. So like
That's
so-
like the best option, dude.
Actually, guys, please welcome Pablo. He's our referee. He's here and he's watching.
Hello, Pablo.
Wait,
So-
You can go for us, you know.
did he
Hello,
come
Pablo.
after the introduction or did he come before the introduction?
He came.
I was
mid-
always here. I was always here.
Albert.
Okay, so basically, if Pablo, if you see that anyone goes over 10 seconds, they get penalized. Yeah.
Okay.
In this case, that doesn't
I'll
count.
take
then.
that into consideration as
Okay.
long as well as the notes that I'm taking throughout the debate. So just
Okay,
keep that in
that's
mind.
awesome.
This
Thank
sounds
you.
really
Although,
professional.
Aitan, would you mind like repeating the introduction?
Yeah, sure. And then how do I know if I'm like out of time or like in the last 10 seconds? How do I know?
Because Pablo will like send in numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to the group chat.
Yeah, but I can't see. Like,
Exactly. Just use your voice or something. I don't know.
Okay, so maybe like Pablo, you can say like limit, and afterwards the seconds just go by. Like, I mean,
yeah. If the time is like 1:30, when you have like 30 seconds left, I'll just say it on the mic so you can hear that.
so like I have 30 seconds left.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
But
Okay,
I'll put a
cool.
timer for 1:30. I think that's the decided speaking time.
All right.
Perfect. Okay.
Cool.
Cool.
okay, so 18, you can repeat it.
Sure, but do you go with the 3, 2, 1?
Okay, sure. 3, 2, 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we stand here today in our position in this debate, we firmly believe that the two-state solution is clearly an undeniable fact that stands as a beacon of hope in the midst of the long-standing Israeli-Palestinian conflict, offering a path to solution to peace that prioritizes preservation of national identities, which is our first argument. Since these two groups that have distinct history, culture, and identity that both should be respected and upheld. However, merging them as a single entity, which is the alternative proposition from the opposite group that is presenting to us, only threatens to fan the flames rather than extinguishing them. Moreover, the two-state solution, which is our solution, allows each side to maintain their national sovereignty as well as to flourish independently, without fear of blending or weakening. Now, speaking of having both groups mixed, have you ever reflected that if the one-state solution were to happen, would Palestinians be integrated into the Israeli military and police and be given leadership roles? Or could Palestinians gain access to Israel's most sensitive national secrets, including those of a nuclear nature? This question underscores the complications that comes with a single-state solution predicated on equality. Moreover, the socioeconomic disparities between Israeli Jews and Palestinians further complicates the concept of a unified state. Since Israel is much more wealthy and economically more powerful, since they have more richness, as they're ranked the fourth most successful economy, which is in contrast to the Palestinians. So here's another problem. Thank you.
Thank you. That was good. Who else are we going to be entertaining now, Albert?
So now I'm the introduction of the one-state solution. So
okay,
yeah,
you have
timer.
1 minute 30, and the floor is yours.
Now, yeah, if someone can give me a countdown, as always.
3, 2, 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're all here today to debate the proposed motion. In order to put a stop to the currently unfolding Israeli-Palestinian conflict, should the solution to be implemented be that of a two-state system or a one-state system? Our team firmly believes the only finite solution that will finally put a stop to the unfolding conflict is that of a single governing body. This is proven by history, societal ties, and the thirst for unity in the area we're talking about. Our team will firmly oppose the opposing team by bringing suitable arguments that are rock hard. Firstly, we'll start by talking about the equality and justice that will be enforced by a unified state. We'll follow by the sustainable peace. We'll follow with the economic cooperation, the increased security and stability, the demographic reality of the region, and evidently the increased promotion of coexistence between Palestinians and Jews. The long-running and deeply ingrained Israeli-Palestinian conflict revolves around the political and geographical destiny of the region that has historically been referred to as Palestine. This dispute has been characterized for more than a century by historical grievances, conflicting
30
national
seconds.
identities, and persistent violence, making it a complicated and divisive matter with significant global ramifications. The late 19th and early 20th centuries were pillars that essentially created such a state where political instability was prevalent. It is our time now to decide what to do and create a unified state that will finally put a stop to this issue once and for all, to really create a unified society with Palestinians and Jews cohabiting it freely and with freedom of speech.
Thank you for that intervention. And now, Ilya, if you want to give a speech, this is, I imagine, in favor of the two-state solution.
No, sorry, I was just going to ask a question, but if
Go ahead.
so, Albert said that one state solution throughout the
but-
history was the only solution.
Now it's like
Oh.
in arguments. You cannot like ask questions just yet.
If not, I'm sorry, I will stop.
Yeah,
like
because that was the introductory
Yeah,
speech. we're not
sorry,
gonna-
my
Yeah,
bad.
we won't be entertaining, but at a later point, I think we will be entertaining questions for
I
speakers.
believe like now arguments from like this.
Yeah.
Okay, so I speak.
Wait,
Go ahead. You have
5 minutes. Because time's changed.
5 minutes? Like time change? Oh yeah, 5 minutes for all the arguments, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Okay. So if we want to change the timer on the screen, whoever's
Oh, Lucy, you have to change.
Yeah. 5 minutes. All right. So, okay, I'll start.
Go ahead.
If we're going to pass a solution, I think we can all agree that it must be a successful one. And what is one of the key things to make this solution beneficial? It is realistic. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we all want a utopian world where enemies can just join. But in this debate, we must be realistic if we want to debate real politics. The fact is that the conflict between Israel and Palestine has been generational. They both are blinded with mistrust from each other that even nowadays, we can't even seem to find the concrete root of the issue. Do we realistically think that this suffering could just be forgiven? Albert's solution, although it's utopian, it could only exist in a non-democratic voting procedure, since yet again, neither side will vote to join the murderers of their children. So in that case, that governmental system would be against the main values of the UN, which is democracy, voice to the people. So now, ladies and gentlemen, applied to a realistic situation, it doesn't sound so ideal, does it? Ignoring the citizens' voices for a seemingly utopian solution? That is why a two-state solution is the only way out that will satisfy both sides and will assure citizens that they are important and that their main wish, which is independence, is heard. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Thank
now
you.
I'm continue with another of our arguments, and
There's
also
like many speakers.
my
Sorry.
team, having already introduced their main argument, having posed the catastrophic consequences of the one-state solution and how it is not democratic, we will tell you another argument. The world that the position has planet you, as Elena said, is nothing more than a mere utopia. Ladies and gentlemen, all of us know that there's going to continue to be disagreements, and all of us know that the hypothetical, picture-perfect world of the one-state solution where everyone is happy is nothing more than a hypothetical picture-perfect world. And due to such disagreements that my partners have already mentioned, two bands are going to be created once more. People are not going to like the one-state solution, whether it is Muslims, Jews, Palestinians, and Israelis. And now, what do you think is going to occur? Well, the quote-unquote picture-perfect one state will be divided into two states again. Civil wars are going to rise, riots are going to flame, and perhaps even destroy the entire state. By having the process of the civil war again, not only will people die and the economy be affected, but if other countries get involved, this might even lead to a World War III. The arguments that the opposition will plant you, criticizing our two-state solution, are nothing more than mere arguments against themselves, since the one state is very likely to fall into two states eventually. And also, not only are there critiques against our solution, also against themselves, but there's also going to be very big damages into the economy, into the people, and into the entire world. And for these reasons, I urge everyone here to reconsider why it is necessary to implement a two-state solution. Thank you.
Do you have a third speaker?
Yeah, sorry. I was lagging. Okay, as my mate said, this is a non-practical solution because it's not only a dictatorial idea imposing a behavior in the people of a country that is not even a country because there are cultural differentiations, there are not even political ideas together, and it will end up in a civil war. We have seen many times the civil war not only destroys a country but destroys its people, its relationships, everything in our world. Because the country is its people, it's not the territory or the economy. That's all. Thank you.
Any more speakers?
Just wanted to add up to my argument of the first argument, the preservation of the national identity. There's this source of, as noted in a Harvard study, which if you want the source, I'll pass it down to you afterwards, is that the majority of Palestinians in the West Bank and Gaza prefer a solution that would allow them to establish an independent state in the West Bank and Gaza, in which they can exercise their right to national self-determination and give expression to their national identity. And so this just proves once again that we have to take into account the factor of the preservation of national identity when thinking which is the best solution. And here is the website, if you need it, Albert. There. Thank you.
And considering that we only have 15 seconds left, that will be the end for the two-state solution side, and now we will entertain the other side with another 5 minutes. So if they have their speaker ready, we'll reset the timer, and we'll start with 5 minutes. So do we have a speaker ready?
Yes.
Perfect. So starting now.
Okay, so our first argument is that the one single state solution will propose a state of justice and equality. If the two-state solution were made, it will be by pacts made, right? So it will cause probably disagreement within the two countries, and dividing the parts will be causing even more conflict. So it's not realistic, and also it can be done democratically by both countries agreeing with each other. Another argument is that peace is what will be brought after the agreement if the two countries join. It can be a sustainable peace made by treaties among both of these societies, both states, and the economy of these two states joining will be much stronger, as there are going to be like more resources pouring into the single state, and it will be even more practical. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other speaker?
Yeah, I'll continue with our arguments. Andrew mentioned the surface. I also want to build a bit on what she said about the economic argument, using what you guys mentioned, which is that Israel's economy is ranked much higher than Palestine's, but that's not a negative, that's actually a positive, because don't you think that when they combine with Palestine, that economy, which is much stronger, could help the Palestinian people develop more as peoples, and would actually benefit them rather than being negative? That doesn't make any sense. Apart from that, I also wanted to mention our argument of actually equality, which again goes against your argument. And this in the sense that Jerusalem is considered a holy land by three religions, as I'm sure we all know, which is Christianity, Judaism, and Islam. And of course, most of the population of Israel is Jewish, most of the population of Palestine is Muslim, and they both have an equal claim when it comes to religion to that land. So a one-party or a one-state solution makes far more sense in that case, as then they can both have equal access to that land that they both consider holy, rather than cutting off either of the two peoples from it. And there's no way to make that equal with a two-state solution, which brings me on to another point, which is that they would never be able to agree on borders as two different nations, as they each have claims to, well, mainly Jerusalem. That's probably the biggest problem. But apart from that, they'd have to negotiate sea access, and Gaza and the West. Gaza would end up being an exclave in Israel because it would be separated from the West Bank. So it'd just all be really complicated, and they'd never be able to agree on it. Thank you. That's all I have to say, Edward.
I heard a lot
Perfect.
about idea. Sorry, yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm next. I heard a lot about idealism and democracy from the other side. However, when we're taking account the two nation system, we need to also realize how would that be democratic? There needs to be divisions between the two states, and are those divisions going to be done democratically, or how are they going to be done? No matter how the divisions are done, there are going to be, like Mark said, they're going to be exclaves, and there are going to be either Israelites or Palestinians that are in the wrong areas per se. And it's going to ultimately no one's going to be happy with the solution, which is just going to result in more fighting, and it's going to result into another war. We've tried if we look at this historically too, I mean, we tried a solution similar to this, and it's always going to lead to conflict, no matter. No, they're not. I'm sorry. Whatever. So no matter the divisions, it's always going to lead to one side being angry, which is just going to restart the war. And more about that, talk about basically historically. We did talk about how it was maybe idealistic because of the cultural differences. However, I want to look at maybe historically, if we look at the Ottoman Empire, which was before this conflict even started, generational, there were a great quantity of Catholics, of Jews, and of Muslims all in the same area, the same Israel area. Yet they were still able to live together peacefully. It wasn't until England came that we actually started this later conflict. So I want to actually specify that we aren't being real, like idealistic. It's the other side. It's always going to lead to more conflict. Only in our way, which is historically proven, can we actually have something that that's stable.
Okay, considering now that both sides have finished their statements, we will now be entertaining Albert, if it's in order, either rebuttals or questions.
Yeah, so it's either one of them. So the other side has, like, they can start.
Can we start?
Yeah. Also, it's 1 minute for a rebuttal. I think it was.
For a rebuttal, okay, sure.
Per rebuttal, like every single rebuttal is 1 minute, and afterwards the other side can directly answer. For
okay.
Wait, no, it's 1 minute and a half. 1 minute and a half.
Right. For one person or for the group?
No, for one person is 1 minute and 30.
All right. So, and then the one who goes next, is it still our group or the person from the opposite group?
So, 1 minute and a half, your group rebuttals. Afterwards, we get to answer in a time constraint of 1 minute, and afterwards we proceed with one of our rebuttals, and we do this until the conclusion starts, which is a little later.
All right. Okay.
Okay, so first of all, I would like to mention some stuff that Mark has, talked about. First of all, about the higher economy, right? Okay, if we add up both Palestinian and Israel's economy, okay, knowing the population of Palestine, which is way bigger than the Israeli one, I don't think the economy is the most problematic thing. Is like the citizens, okay? Okay, maybe they do have a great economy, but imagine that the one state, okay, creating a one state has a lot of process, right? What if the one state doesn't work and you have to get use your essentials and use them to make a two state? Isn't that a waste of essentials? And it's so messed up in the economy as well. And another thing I would say, okay, you mentioned about Jerusalem and all of everything. I feel like religion is not the problem, it's politics that matters. Like maybe it's true that there has been a lot of history about the religion, but I don't think it makes a great part of the situation we are in. And then another thing that Edward also mentioned is about religion, kind of the same topic, right? But I feel like history is history. It does kind of reflect on how we think now. But I feel like the situation has gotten in the extent that people just think that nothing is going to work out after what everything Israel did. Well, that's it. Thank you.
Can I respond to that?
Go ahead.
So 1 minute. Kind of.
Okay. I'm waiting for the time to start, and then I go. Okay. First, I want to respond by when you were saying that wouldn't it be wasting resources once we create a two-party? Because a two-nation state, because it's not going to work. In that statement, you're already presupposing that our idea is going to fail. So I don't think that has anything to do with our argument. What we think is that we think that one nation would be a great solution that would be a lot more stable. And it would boost the economy. Like you said, Israel has such a developing economy while Palestine doesn't. And it would be very difficult to them, especially after wartime and after these decisions, to all of a sudden have to start their own economy. And to add on to that, you talked about how we were talking about religion, but I want to specify we weren't talking about religion. We were responding to the claims that it wouldn't be a good idea to have a one-nation state because of the cultural differences. What we're trying to specify is that cultural differences hasn't stopped a one-nation solution in the past, even in the same area. In the Ottoman Empire, culturally, not only religions, culturally, where they were very different type of people. And they were still able to peacefully reside there. So yeah.
I have a question. Can I answer to that or I can't?
You can ask questions, I guess.
I can ask a question?
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Okay. Can somebody go and then I'll ask? Because I'm thinking.
Yeah, I can go for the rebuttal.
I wanted to argue.
Okay, I think we can. Okay, let's just allow rebuttals, but keep them at I don't know, short, 45 minutes. Let's say. 45 seconds per rebuttal now.
Okay.
So just a few rebuttals, 45 seconds each.
Can I start?
Lucy has to set the timer.
Wait, only 45 seconds over.
Because we're running short of time. Okay.
All right.
Point of clarification. After I don't know who's going first. If Samia goes as a rebuttal, if after Samia goes, can the other team, the one-state solution, go for 45 seconds as a rebuttal?
Yeah, let's just allow 3. If they want a rebuttal, we can allow 3 45-second rebuttals, and afterwards we can allow ourselves to have 3 45-second rebuttals. Now go ahead.
Edward, you mentioned that the economy will boost up if they.
So wait, time. Samia, you're muted because I thought Kevin was speaking and I thought you were gonna say. So I muted.
I'm mute. I'm
yeah.
mute. Okay.
I thought Kevin was speaking, so I muted you. So I apologize.
Good. Okay.
Apologies for that.
All right, no problem.
All right, first argument against your claiming a single state will serve equality to all citizens, no matter Israel or Palestinian. How about considering that if all are granted equal right to vote in a democratic system, Israel's population was predominant and it overspreads Palestinian population. So how would that democratic work if both have this social argument and they're predominantly one population over another population, and another claim to your economic situation, although two formulated into one will boost up the economy, but how about those Palestinians working in a lower time job and have more less educated, and how about those class struggle that will ignite between the two?
So next rebuttal, probably from your side.
I can continue over. I'm not finished.
Yeah, but other people also went to rebuttal now.
Wait, I'm so confused right now. So can I rebuttal now?
Yeah, so basically you get 3 rebuttals from your team. You can 3 people can rebut us.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
I'll rebuttal. Okay, Edward, you mentioned about boosting up the economy, okay? I want to mention, and I feel like it should be stated, that I feel like Palestine is not about boosting up their economy. I don't think that's right. I feel like they just want to have a freedom to have their independent country and live how they want. And I don't think boosting up the economy is going to make them happy. I feel like they just want freedom for themselves and feel important towards the world. And I feel like boosting up the economy is not going to make them happy and help for their decisions. Maybe it just to look good in front of the other world, but what is inside them is just not going to help them apart from having a beneficial amount in their country.
Okay, last rebuttal from your team.
So who should? Should I? I saw Isabel raising her hand.
Oh, Helena, do you want to rebuttal? I can if you don't want, or you can.
I feel like Kevin has an important thing to say. I'll give it to Kevin. Go, Kevin.
Before we start this, can Albert, you said like the questions are after the rebuttals.
Yeah.
But that means nobody's gonna answer.
Yeah, because we can answer them.
Yeah, I think we have two questions right now. One for Ida and one from Isabel.
Okay, hold on, Kevin.
I have two questions.
Okay, Ilya, rebuttal. Afterwards, y'all can ask questions. We answer, and afterwards, it's our turn to
No,
rebuttal.
but I don't want to say anything like specific to your arguments. I just want to ask two questions.
Okay, that comes after Kevin's rebuttal.
Yeah, sure.
Another argument attacking your claim historically Judaism was a diverse city and both religions can engage in together. But you need to bear in mind that is just a fragment of a time where in the long series history of theme, the conflict was the main thing of Jerusalem, was occupying and taking over about different religions. And you also exemplify you using the Ottoman Empire, but bear in mind the Ottoman Empire falls because there were too many ethnic groups and the government there cannot handle with all the ethnic group, which create a huge diversification in that area and eventually turned Europe in a bomb that ignited the World War I.
Can we add more bottles or no?
No, questions. Only questions now. Maximum 3 questions because we got to get it moving. Your side can ask questions. Okay, go ahead. 3 questions.
Who should start? Me? All right. So I have 2 questions. The first one is for Albert, and the second was for Edward. So my first question is, you, Albert, mentioned that one-state solution was the only solution for a conflict between countries throughout the history. And I would like to make an example, Kosovo, that it's a very recent example where they separated from Serbia because of a conflict, and Serbia can't do anything right now about it, and they technically can't attack them, and they separate into it's an example of history that implies the two-state solution. And the second question is for Edward, that he mentioned that one-state solution is the most stable. For example, in case of Israelis, I believe that if they conquer Palestine again, I believe the terrorist groups of people who will try to defend themselves against the Israeli army will continue the conflict within the country, within the new established government. And I would just both ask you, what do you think about that? Thank you.
Okay, should I answer first, Edward?
Yeah, you go first.
Okay, so you brought up the Kosovo example. However, that is only one out of many. For example, let's talk about the German unification. Afterwards, the Yemen unification. There's countless examples where there was wars, civil wars, and afterwards also different countries were claiming the same land. That only causes wars, hunger, famine, deaths, imminent casualties that are simply not needed because of a claim to the same land. However, when these countries unified and they started cooperating, that both fostered economic stability and also social stability. Economic ties are inevitable. In the case of Israel and Palestine, they are literally claiming the same land, and the division of their 2 states cannot be done in a way that is feasible for both of them. The one that was done in the UN Accords in 1952, where Palestine got hold of Gaza and the West Bank, it didn't work out because war erupted. The Arab nations attacked Israel. Israel afterwards bombed them. And it is simply not a feasible solution because they're inevitably intertwined. And there's countless Palestinians who've got family in the West Bank and Gaza. And if they go to visit them during the summer holidays, they're going to have to traverse Israel. Likewise with Israel, if some some territory in the middle is given to Palestine. They're going to have to traverse each other. These two countries are simply linked to each other, and it's impossible to divide them without fostering conflict. Okay, that is my response. Ezra, you can go now.
Okay, I'll respond by adding on to that. I completely agree with what you said, and he basically responded to his other question addressed to me, which was stability. Like he said, a two-party system in history has not been stable, and it won't be stable because of the divisions. No matter what's going to happen, like he said, the family is a great point. They can have families in the West Strip, and if they want to visit them, they would have to go in. But sorry, to not get out of topic, to mainly respond to what you asked me, you said how did I find a one nation stable one in the past? It hasn't. I think maybe we didn't clarify enough. But to clarify, when we mean a one-state solution, we don't mean Israel incorporating and conquering Palestine. We want a democratic one-nation state where they're both equals and they're united under one national identity. If we think of it as just Israel conquering them, your point would be incredibly valid. There are going to be terrorism groups, but what we think is in a democratic nation, it would be more stable as both people would have equal access to all parts of the land, because both nations feel like they both feel incredibly entitled to this specific piece of land, Israel. They feel incredibly entitled, and they feel like if anything else would be a great injustice. So if we divide it, no matter how we divide it, they're gonna feel like it's unjust. In war, it's not gonna be stable. It's gonna come back. If they both have it, if we can go under peace talks, it's more feasible for stability. And I think that's the main point. The main question was, what's the best solution to actually cultivate stability, not really stability, but peace. And peace comes from stability and a solution that's actually going to withstand time. Yeah.
Okay, two more questions from your side, and afterwards we start rebuttals.
So my question is, how are you planning to pass a resolution with no votes, since we already gave evidence featuring how citizens are totally against joining?
Who are you asking that to? Who do you want to respond? Any preferences? Or
I do not mind. It's like a general answer to the one-state solution.
Okay, can I take this on? Because I've got Okay, essentially, in order to answer this, both you, Elena, and also I believe it was Etienne, mentioned that piece of evidence where Palestinians and Israelis support a two-state solution. However, I must tell you, I'm sorry, but that evidence is outdated, because I've got an article from a reputable source, the Washington Institute, right here in front of me, and I'm just reading right now. First, while the current U.S. administration has recently emphasized its continued commitment to this two-state solution, this is no longer a popular position among Palestinians and Israelis. Less than 40% of the Palestinian public in the West Bank, Gaza, and East Jerusalem supports it over one-state alternatives. Support for a two-state solution has declined steadily since 2018 until the present moment. Further, most Palestinians believe that a two-state solution is unlikely to emerge from the conflict. Instead, a majority of them say they prefer to reclaim all of historic Palestine, from the river to the sea, including the pre-1967 Israel. A one-state solution with Arabs and Jews holding equal rights comes in second. So both sides agree that a two-state solution is not feasible, it's not going to work because it hasn't worked in the past, and they only believe that the only feasible solution is to have a one single state where both sides have equal rights and have freedom of movement, freedom of expression, etc. So I believe that invalidates your point, and also that's my answer to your question.
Wait, not a question, like not an actual question. Can you leave the source like in the comments down below,
Yes.
please?
Give me a second.
And a question, like, can we rebuttal to the answering of the question?
Can I state my question, please, at least?
Whoever wants, what last question?
Yeah, Etienne.
Yeah,
Wait,
please.
Etienne, I have a really good one. Please let me do this one.
Oh.
No, I was first, Isabel.
Okay.
All right. Sadly, Isabel. All right. Okay. So, regarding Mark Bremen, apparently what you said is that it is not a problem regarding the socioeconomic disparities. Basically, what you're stating is that Israel would just easily share their economy and wealth with Palestinians without no hesitation and help each other once they're united. Isn't that quite a hyperbole and a too harmonious idea? Therefore, my question is, when stating such a claim, have you taken into account that there's this term called competition, referring to the fact that even if they were to join together as one state, there would be a need to address issues related to power sharing, governance, resource allocation, and representation?
Wait, so can you
Albert, Do you want
You
to
wanna-
split this question? I said you answer. You can start answering, and then I want to add on
Can
to
you like
that.
summarize your question and like make it like concise? Because that was like a rebuttal question. Like it was like, can you just like make it a little more concise as a like question, please?
All right. So my question is that when Mark Berman was stating his claim about that there's no problem about the social and economic disparity, have you taken into account that there's this term called competition, meaning that have you taken into account that there will be a need to address issues related to power sharing, governance, and all other factors like resource allocation and representation?
Okay, Edward, if you want, we can take it like one on one. Like, if you want, I start and afterwards you add on.
Yeah. You start, and I want to end it.
Okay, so essentially, in this case, Israel and Palestine, evidently they are two separate. Well, in this case, we don't really know what they are because they've got different identities, they've got different land, but it's being occupied, they're at war, etc. However, yeah, they're different. That does not mean that countries that have different populations inside of them cannot coexist happily and like actually have socioeconomic ties. If we take the example of Switzerland, there are literally 4 different kinds of nationalities and identities in there. There's the ancestral Romansh people in there who have a completely different language, completely different ties, have nothing to do with the German and the French and the Italian people inhabiting Switzerland. They have a decentralized party system where every single canton region governs itself, and afterwards, together, they govern the country and establish those economic ties and policies. This is what I believe our team would like to propose in this conflict to resolve this conflict, because evidently Gaza has many Palestinians in it. I mean, of the population is Arab, and other parts of the country, the majority of the population would be Jewish. In those cases, those major populations would govern their specific regions, and afterwards they would combine in order to form this like United States of Jerusalem. Let's just call it that. This united country would become would like consider all their opinions, all their perspectives, and that way they could all govern it like together, and that way minimize conflict. Yeah, pretty much. Edward.
Okay. Yeah. Now for me, we can talk about hyperbole all we want, but I honestly think that if we want to talk about competition, there'd be a way bigger competition in the economy if they were actually divided into 2 nations. Mark actually, when he was first saying this, which you were responding to, Mark mentioned the ports, but I think let's just mention everything in general, in the economy and the natural resources. You mentioned natural resources. They're not all perfectly divided across however we decide to create these, however undemocratically we decide to create these 2 nations. Certain resources are going to be given to certain people, and like you said, there's huge economic disparity between the 2 groups. So we had the Palestinians actually separate. First, they're going to start off and they're going to have it a lot more difficult, because right after the division, they have, like you said, an economy that right now is at a way lower level, and it's going to be hard for them to start on. And if we're taught, they're going to feel like, since we need more help to begin with, well, I'm not going to say they're going to feel like, but one possibility is that they might actually want more resources. And even if they don't, it's really hard to split up national resources exactly in half. So it's going to create more competition if they're separate. For the economy is really based on the ports and everything there. So I just don't think like it's fair to. I think competition in a 2-nation system would be greatly increased. Like it's just going to add on to the conflict.
Okay, can we rebuttal now?
No, sorry. Now we proceed with our team's rebuttal. I think, Viva, you wanted to start with the rebuttal.
Yeah, can I like put a graph on the screen?
Yeah.
Thank
So
2 seconds then.
Is that for the question or?
No, now it's like our time to rebuttal.
Oh,
like our turn, yeah.
Sorry, I don't know if I can present well
Wait, Albert, didn't we already rebuttal?
Sorry?
Wait, didn't we already rebuttal or no?
Those were like answers to questions and like our answer to their rebuttal. Now it's like our time to like we rebuttal to their initial arguments, kind of.
Oh. Okay. Do you wanna start, I guess, because Mark left.
Yeah, 2 seconds for me. I'm just getting the graph that we found. Okay, I'll find it after. I can't find it right now. Sorry. Okay, so I have how many minutes am I allowed?
like 90 seconds. I'll just put them.
Okay. Okay. So to jump back to the very beginning, because I know that was a while ago. First, let's look at your first argument. Historical and the cultural aspect of putting together a two-state solution. Well, you say that historically it didn't work. Well, we have a graph which I will show you at the end that says historically it did work. Muslims, Christians, and Jews all lived together in peace in the Ottoman Empire before the British came and ruined it, which Eduard mentioned and Mark as well mentioned. So that rebuttals your first point. As well as that, the historical claim behind the land, any country can have historical claim. It's not just Palestine. And the scope and impact of the question is actually related to the peace of the if whether one state or two states better. So really you need to focus on the question. As well as that, I believe Samia mentioned that Palestine doesn't care about their economy. Well, if Palestine didn't care about their economy, they just want they would have agreed to the given when they were given the chance to become an independent state, which they denied, and they would mean they were receive more land from Israel, but they were blinded by hate, and it was mostly the Hamas, but still to point out that point is kind of wrong, as well as that Israel provides around like 1.1 trillion of resources every year, so it really shows how much Palestine relies on Israel. So that's why a two state would not be viable.
Okay, now your team has like a minute to answer.
Do I get to answer as she rebutted me?
Whatever your
How are
team.
we doing the rebuttals again?
It's so weird. Okay.
I have a rebuttal about like a question. So
wait,
can I go?
Yeah, you can go.
Okay. So first of all, you presented a very conflicting evidence, since that evidence says that the only way out, it was going to end up a one-state solution because Israel was going to take all the power, and Edward just said that he would be in our side if it wasn't like an democratic thing that Israel just takes all the power. So your evidence basically goes against you. And also, I'm quoting your evidence. It says equal rights come second, and one of your arguments is literally equality. So if you're saying first there's going to be all this conflict because one of the sides is going to be more predominant, and that side is probably going to be Israel due to their economic power, then equality will come second. And it's basically destroying one of your arguments, since equality is not going to happen in a place where both sides are extreme political opposites and cultural differences. So it is going to like separate each other. And about the Ottoman Empire and Jerusalem, which you keep insisting on, and we already rebutted, the Ottoman Empire divided because of so many cultures that they couldn't like concentrate all these cultures and have all the views in favor because there was too much opposing views. And Jerusalem was only a fraction of time when it was safe. Jerusalem, before we heard like lots of news of like bombs coming through. So those two examples that you gave historically have been proven to like fail in the past. So we don't want to repeat like our failures in history.
Okay. And now we will be having another speech for that side. So please go ahead.
Okay, so like who wants to answer?
What, sorry?
Wait, answer? Aren't we doing like the second rebuttal? We're not answering.
Wait, is there a second rebuttal? I'm not understanding. Pablo just mentioned a second rebuttal, right?
Was there not a second rebuttal? Am I getting it wrong?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
like the second person. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Okay,
Yeah.
sure.
Go ahead. Viva, if you want the floor.
Yeah, no, wait.
No, sorry, I just have a question. Sorry, I just have a question.
Go ahead,
I didn't know whether to say it in the
it's
chat or say it out loud. I found the graph. If I could quickly screen share it, if we still want to see that or not. I don't know.
We'll let Samia have the floor first, but then we'll circle back to you, Viva. Thank you. Samia?
Okay, sure. Okay, I want to mention something that Viva said. She said about that they gave Palestine the option to become independent, but imagine they gave us the option to become independent, but at that time the amount of pain that Palestine went through Palestine went through because of Israel. How do you feel like the citizens would want to share a bit with Israel? It doesn't make sense. It's their territory. They have the whole right to keep that territory for themselves. Either way, that's their territory. They have the freaking right to go and keep and say no when when Israel just wants a small part. I feel like maybe now they will change and say, fine, you have a bit and I have a bit. But I feel like at that time it went to an extent that the citizens felt so much pain that they regretted the fact that they even shared a place with Israel. And I feel like the situation they had at that time just made them reflect and say no. Because imagine you would you say yes? Would you say yes when somebody's hitting you? Would you say forgive them easily? You won't. So if you reflect with that, I feel like Palestine would do the same thing and wouldn't agree on that. So I feel like the evidence you gave is pointless.
Thank you, Samia. And a note that Albert made, always maintain decorum, and I think there was a problem towards the end, but yeah.
Wait, no, I don't think Albert said that towards her. It was just a discussion we were having in the chat because someone said, "What a pity," like sarcastically.
Okay.
Yeah, it was in the chat. Yeah.
So then, just in general, everyone.
Did I do anything?
No.
You're good.
You're
Oh,
You didn't do anything, Samia.
Okay, let's please. We'll move
Okay.
now on to Viva and Viva's input.
Okay.
Yeah, and also it's like now our team to rebuttal. So like
Yeah,
Viva,
I was.
Edward, and
Edward, you
Yeah,
go
I think
first.
it
You go
was.
first.
I think it was our turn. No, you show the graph. Like,
No, it's okay. I'll go after.
no, it's
Okay,
fine.
then
Show the
Edward,
graph.
you have the floor.
Okay, so now from the rebuttal. First, I'm gonna start off by responding to something she just said. How she said that they regretted it because it was very painful for the citizen because they gave bits and parts to each one. That's literally what happens with a two-state solution. I'm not trying to, but yeah, it's like with a two-state solution, we would be giving parts to each one, and it would result in citizens, like she had said, be mad. So I think that's a problem that's shared between both. And now more to what I actually wanted to rebuttal was, I guess the main crux in our issue, the main thing that they pointed out in when we were first debating, is they said that ours was idealistic. So I guess what my rebuttal is, and what I want to ask them almost at the same time is, don't you think that maybe your solution is even more idealistic when we're talking about the scope of this question about peace and sustainable peace? Don't you think that a solution where we divide borders and we decide what belongs to who is going to result into more conflict? And yeah, I think that was mostly it.
Thank you for that, Edward.
Yeah. So like now it's like next rebuttal from our team.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, okay. So I think, does anyone from my team want a rebuttal? Because okay, so I guess.
Albert, we don't have a team. Like everyone left. We're like three of us.
Okay, I just don't know. A few people left because yeah, we're like definitely over time. But anyhow, I'm gonna just like try to rebuttal the point that y'all made about the dictatorial regime, that you can only basically create a unified state of Israel and Palestine through dictatorial measures. However, this is not correct at all because, as I mentioned, the majority of the Palestinian and Israeli population, they want this. They want to put an end to conflict. Both sides have had like thousands of casualties from like families, like babies being murdered, also the elderly, also shelters being bombed. There's been thousands of casualties on both sides. It's evidently a disaster situation, and both sides are willing to finally put an end to this. They want to put an end to this, and the only way to do that is through a unified state where they'll both manage to finally see past that. And also with socioeconomic ties, Israel will help develop Palestine if they become a unified state, because they will, because regions will trade with each other, and that is the only thing that will actually create economic development, because regions will have to trade with each other inevitably. They'll be in the same boat, and they'll have no options. What, Palestinians don't want to trade? No, they can't do that, because if they don't trade, they're going to get lost. They're going to go and become poverty, like extremely poor. They're going to have to trade. And it's only through like this means that we're actually going to reach some kind of progress in the region. And evidently this will be achieved democratically because both sides embrace democracy. Palestinians voted for Hamas. Palestinians wanted to see change, so they supported Hamas. In the West Bank, Palestinians supported Futas, another militant organization. In Israel, people vote democratically in elections. So no, this solution is not going to be achieved through a dictatorial measure. It will be achieved democratically. Thank you. And,
Okay, thank you for that. And now we will have Albert, if you may.
Rebuttal from our team, I think.
Okay. The rebuttal for the team. Go ahead.
Well, not me, but like Viva, I think, or
Yeah,
whoever.
Viva, you have the infographic, so please present it.
Hi. Okay. Yeah. So I need to get the timer off to present it, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll keep the time.
I'll first begin on response to what Samia has just said. Like, I think the last time I don't remember, and then I'll present the graph afterwards, if that's okay.
That's okay. Yeah.
Okay. You say, quote unquote, actually, you say that the reason that the people did not agree to more land was because they were hurting. No, that's not actually what happened. I'm sorry. The people were not presented with the land because they don't make the choice whether this government, whether this country, whether this gets more land. They don't decide that. That is not their decision to make. So no, they didn't say no because they couldn't. They didn't have the option to. And also you can see on multiple graphs online that they actually wanted more land because when a country is in need of more land, they are going to want more land. The reason that it actually was not passed was because of the Hamas, the terrorist group. And also, just to cut back to the original point, they said no because, not because they were in pain, because that wasn't a relevant issue that was happening. They said no because they wanted the entire land or no land. They said no because they were being greedy. I'm sorry, but that's literally the agreement that they said. They wrote it. We want all the land or nothing. They said no because they wanted more power. Now I'll move on to the graph, which I'll share. This is from a point of, hold on one second. The next person can go while I find this, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's in order because that 1:30 has elapsed. So let's have the next person go.
I don't know if I should go again, but Isabel in the chat was mentioning how no one had rebuttal to her. So I guess I'll respond what I think I had said before. So I don't know if the timer started. Okay, I'll start now. Basically what I believe is that in your argument, you're presupposing the idea that I guess our one nation idea will fail. And we previously stated how we believe that our idea is going to be more stable in the long term, since it's going to avoid a lot of these conflicts that come when we actually create borders between nations. Wait, something's happening to my screen. But yeah, so so I think that your argument really has nothing to do with what our idea, and there's nothing we can respond because we think that it's going to be more stable and it's going to last longer. So we don't think it's just going to end up becoming a two-nation state. So I don't think our arguments are against ourselves, I guess.
I'd also like to add on to that since we've got like time remaining. Essentially, So I'd like to mention the fact that there's thousands of Israeli settlements in both Gaza and the West Bank. So Isabel, mentioned that eventually, if it becomes a unified state, they'll become two states eventually because of conflict and civil war. However, if we now create two independent states, by the end of this, it will become one single state under Israeli rule. Why? Because there's Israeli settlements in both sides, in both like Gaza and with the West Bank. Israel is not doing anything to stop them because they don't want to. International law, although they condemn these Israeli settlements that are literally colonizing the land that was given to Palestine, can't do anything because the United Nations and the International Court has no power over individual nations. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that. We will now be entertaining a further comment, I think. Or Viva, if you want to talk to the infographic real quick.
Yeah, I just wrote in the chat because I wasn't sure if I was able to speak or not. But this is just a graph that Mark, Edward, and I were all referring to. That's all.
Okay, thank you. And then now if we have Samia, you have the floor.
Okay, I would like to add up to it, what Albert said. He said that Israel will like to get with Palestine and take the decisions together. I totally disagree with that because okay, if you make one state, everybody's gonna have to. They'll have the decision taking together. They'll have the same passports. But if you take into consideration, your team also said that the population of Palestine is way greater than the Israel population. So of course, if we relate to the conflict right now that is happening between Israel and Palestine, we can see that Israel, of course, will get annoyed and things will get into a worse place, showing that, of course. Palestine, it's not that they want to be in control, it's because they will have the right to decide in some things that Israel wouldn't because of the higher population, right? So I feel like that could create a lot of problems in between that. And apart from that, why would you put two different countries that have such diverse cultures, histories, and put them together? Like that is ruining their culture, and I feel like it's unnecessary. Apart from,
30
let's stop
seconds.
thinking about politics and stuff, but it does affect about of their culture. And yes.
Thank you, Samia, for that intervention. Okay, due to time constraints, we will now be moving towards conclusions. So I would be in favor of a 1 minute 30 pause where both sides can just recollect their thoughts and then decide on one person to speak on behalf of their stance. So the positive and negative will choose one representative to give the final conclusions. And we'll have a 1 minute 30 break to just decide that and then also collect some thoughts. So 1 minute 30 starting now. Viva, you have a question?
Because I think
Yeah,
you was
sorry.
going to present our introduction now. I mean conclusion.
Wait, what?
Wait, you have a question? Okay, you know what? Never
Sorry.
mind.
Go ahead, Viva.
Just one question. Samia asked for some evidence. Can I send that in the chat, or is that not
Yeah,
in order?
that's in order. That's in order.
Thank
Yeah. Elena, do you have a question?
Yeah, like right now, what exactly are we doing? Because how are we going to decide who concludes?
Type it in chat.
Oh,
But
okay.
isn't like
Yeah,
everyone
yeah.
will see our conclusion?
No, just
Sorry?
the person.
No, like
Just
the
one
person
person.
choose. But we have to kind of speak to see who has what.
Go ahead. You can do that now. Just
Okay.
speak out loud.
So,
Right.
Kevin,
Yeah.
I have something if nobody has anything, but I feel like you did like a lot of rebuttals. So.
Oh yeah, I know you didn't speak very much. I think you should speak.
Yeah, Elena, I think you should do the conclusion.
Okay. Thank
Okay,
you.
and then for the one state solution, do we have a representative now, or do you guys want to talk about it on mic?
Okay, let's talk about it. Albert, do you want to do it, or does anyone want to do it? Whoever it is, I don't care.
I think Viva wanted to know. Well,
Viva, do you want to? Yeah, no, if she wants to, like 100%.
No,
Do you want to?
totally. You take it.
Wait, who's doing
Edward,
that?
Edward, you
Wait,
go.
You
no,
go.
no,
You go.
You go.
No. I don't want to. Totally, you go. I'm finding the evidence.
Okay, we'll have Edward. We'll have Edward do the speech,
No.
and that's fine. So Edward and Helena are going to be the two speakers. We will first have
Wait.
the concluding speech from Helena from the two-state side, and then we'll have Edward follow. We'll have it still be a 1 minute 30 speech, and we will not be entertaining questions if that is okay with everyone, or rebuttal. So it's just the final speech to wrap up the stance, thoughts, and arguments made throughout the debate. So Helena, you have the floor for 1 minute 30. Are you ready?
Okay, yeah.
Perfect.
So
Go ahead.
first of all, your first argument was justice and equality. And to that, we answered that forcing to join will cause even more conflict since we're ignoring people's voices. Then you guys also like talked about how you have like an evidence of people saying they want to join, but we actually have conflicting evidences since I also found a Washington Institute that says that a one-state solution won't work. And also, Albert, it's not as simple as telling the people to just join. As you said, there has been children dying and people are like conflicting all the time. So just by joining them, it's going to increase the tensions because they're going to be neighboring. And one of the main arguments that you said is the Israeli population inside Palestine. So to that, we have a solution since Israeli sentiments can be solved by a two-state solution. Since there's two states, we can give the country government, which will allow the country to decide who goes in their territory and who goes out. So the Israeli settlements we will be able to move them and control them better, rather than if it was like a one state solution. And also, we also rebutted your joint argument, which was talking about the Ottoman Empire and the historical powers. We rebutted that various times, saying that those empires didn't work for the exact same thing that's happening now, the difference in culture and the great difference in views and economies.
Thank you, Helena. And now we will be entertaining for 1 minute and 30 seconds the concluding speech of Edward for the one-state solution. You have the floor.
Okay, to conclude the one-state solution, what we want to explain is that we think our solution is the only one which is actually feasible for long-term peacefulness. So I guess what we want to mention is that in the two-state solution, like Albert was saying, there are going to be Israelites that actually live in the new separation and the new divided Palestine, and we don't think that just having a government that allows them to pass or actually moving those settlements is going to result in any good conclusion. If you were part of a state and they made you relocate to a separate land where you've lived there, like they said, this conflict spans hundreds of years. It spans a long time, and Palestinians feel like they have the right to live there, and they've lived there for long times. So we believe that actually having them be relocated from either side, having them be relocated to where they now should live under these new presupposed positions, which will not be decided democratically, although who gets who, would just create more conflict. Additionally, like we had said, the economy, it would be bad for the economy, while if they were together, it would be better for both economies. We also think that because of the natural resources on each one, it would even lead to more conflict. So to basically summarize in one last sentence, we think that a two-state solution would result in more conflict, it would result economically for worse, and it would force people to relocate. So we think a two-state solution is worse for everyone, a one-state solution is better for everyone.
Thank you, Edward, for that intervention. So I think what the chair would motion for now is just a quick evaluation on its behalf, and then if we want to, we can declare a winning side. Albert, would you be in favor of that?
Yeah, I guess so. I think you wanted to have your independent speech as well.
No, I think we'll reach the conclusion. So I've been taking notes throughout. So I'm sorry that I wasn't more actively involved with moderating the debate, but it's because I was noting down the different arguments that both sides make. And I must say I'm very impressed with both sides, and they had really, really good, strong arguments. In terms of a winner, though, I think if you want a little drum roll, solely based on the arguments that were made, the two-state solution is the winner in this case.
I told you, Albert.
So while the one-state solution made good rebuttals, and they used a lot of very credible sources well, they did not substantiate or flesh out the logistics or the real solution that would entail a one-state proposal. And they did talk about the issues related to a two-state solution and did respond and criticize the two-state solution and the problems inherent to it, but did not do enough to talk about the reasons why a one-state solution would be a better alternative. So it is frustrating, but the burden as a minority alternative would be to discuss the reasons why your solution is a better one and not just to criticize the two-state solution. So obviously, the burden of proof and of information and argument was harder on your side, and congratulations for the arguments you made. So the winner would be the two-side solution, though, in this case. So congratulations to you all.
Can we clap? We deserve a round of applause.
Clapping is in order. That's
Yeah, you guys did well.
We're all winners. We're all winners.
But not good enough.
Your
I
arguments are
think
fundamentally
Ilya
wrong.
wants to add a last point.
Do you know how difficult? Why did I do the conclusion? I asked not to do it. I said, one of you please do it.
I was drafting through my papers for the conclusion. I did not have anything structured. You do not know how much papers I had.
I was so distracted by the messages. I should
Yeah.
have closed them.
Ilya, do you have a question or a point that you want to make?
Oh, give me a second. I would like to just wait. Give me like 1 minute, please.
Go ahead. Matt.
I have a question, but for Albert.
Yeah, go ahead.
Next time, can you send like an schedule of how are you like how is the debate gonna proceed? So
I
we
did.
know.
I did in the group chat.
But
Are you?
No one reads it.
But that's not my problem, bro.
no, I do read almost everything. I
think
did.
It was definitely confusing though, so if for future purposes we can find a simplified structure or one that at least we can collectively agree upon. Have that
Yeah,
fit.
and Albert, if one of these days you can actually like teach me like how this is supposed to work, because I had no idea what I was doing.
I was
appreciate
kind
that.
of confused as well.
Ilya or Viva? Sorry, Viva, do you want to say something?
Can I take another cast picture, please?
Go ahead.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you.
I do.
Sorry. I need my cast pictures. Okay, ready? All right, thank you.
Ilya?
All right, guys. Well, I need to leave apparently, and I would like to say something in the end, especially to Albert. So give me a second.
Bring it on.
So, all right, guys. I'd like to make the final argument that Albert's hair looks terrible. There was no reason to debate at all because, well, this argument is the strongest technically. And to end up, I would like to say cheers.
Okay.
Bye bye, guys.
Cool.
Chan, do you have something to say?
Yeah. So Albert, I think next time while we plan this kind of debate, we should post the structure in the chat.
I did. Oh my god.
No, I'm not.
Okay,
even
guys.
It went differently. It went differently, like
People everyone
completely
can see
different.
that.
You didn't say anything about like questions and stuff. So I see why like Matt would have said like she didn't get like the arguments and stuff. I was also asking questions like who's going next? Because I didn't get the
Yeah,
structure.
Albert, and next time we should clearly classify what is rebuttal and who's question, because it's kind of mix up. The question is like rebuttal and rebuttal is like question right now.
It was, yes. I agree.
Can I say something? I would like to say that thank you for this experience. Seriously, I had so much fun. I haven't experienced like I love the topic a lot. Seriously, like at this point, I feel like just screaming at people. I feel like it's a good way to like stress myself, like leave my stress. Right? But seriously, I love the fact that we debate stuff. Either way, I don't care who wins. It's just having fun and learning. And I feel like thank you for like the great experience, and at least I have something to do, like for my life, because like I'm just stuck here at home. But thank you guys, I love you.
For sure. Matilda, you want to say something?
And oh yeah.
Yeah, I hope this repeats. So I have an idea. One of the next debates we make, can we like, you don't say anything, it could be a random debate, and we have to define like the option we don't believe in. I've made this and some debates, and it's really fun.
It's like surprise topic or something? You mean like surprise topic or?
No, like, well, that could be fun too. But imagine you say like we have to be in a part, imagine in favor or not in favor, and then you switch like, what are we defending? So we defend what we don't think.
Oh, okay, yeah, that would definitely be cool.
That's really fun. I have done it many times, and I
It was
actually
not
change
fun.
ideas.
Sure. Yeah, for sure, definitely.
And
Cool.
another thing, I am not a person of talking. I'm a mathematician. I only write. If I say something weird, because I talk weird, because I just think in a maths way, even if I'm debating, can somebody interrupt me? Because I know how to demonstrate things in weird ways.
For sure.
You
It's
debate
okay.
well, like you had really good points, Matt. Like
Yeah, you did great.
you're really good.
You articulated yourself really well.
Okay, I think there's no more questions, no?
Yeah, I'm just gonna say bye.
I feel like
I live in the U.S. and because of time difference, I'm probably not even gonna be able to show up to like any other one. Like right now, I should be in school, but luckily I didn't have school today, so I'm probably not gonna be here again.
Oh, you have a timeline difference?
Oh, that's so bad.
I have a 6-hour difference. Like right now, I'd be in school. Actually, no, I would
Yeah.
have been leaving. No, I would be leaving school right now.
Wow.
Anyhow.
Oh, wait,
Okay,
Albert,
so-
Albert.
Oh, God.
Lemon,
Never
stop.
gonna-
Wait, we want a response from Albert.
Wait,
I need
Albert, can
we
you
get
fix your
this in
hair?
camera.
I've got a
Albert,
meeting
I
in
have a
like
phrase
10
for you.
minutes, guys. So
We want Albert accepting defeat on camera.
I don't accept
Yes,
that.
yes.
Your arguments
We
are.
want it on camera,
You know,
guys.
no, listen.
Is
Albert, can you
Lucy
cut
still
your
here?
hair?
Because we want the clip, like, on camera.
Albert, the outcome was not surprising, right?
Guys,
We
your
knew who was going to.
okay, guys, just your arguments are fundamentally wrong because your solutions are not gonna be implemented. They're not gonna work out because they failed in the past. That's my personal opinion.
Yeah, Albert.
Albert, can you accept defeat, please?
No. I'll accept defeat in this case, but I don't believe my like ideals are like I believe my ideals have a greater prevalence and greater fundamentalism in their implementation and are the only thing that will actually solve the conflict at hand because a two-state solution will not really be feasible. So there'll just be more wars. So
Just
okay,
trim the
having
video
said
to where he
this,
says, I accept
What?
defeat.
Sorry, what?
Trim the video to where he says, I accept defeat.
Yeah,
and
exactly. Cut
delete that
everything
part.
else where he says he's
The
actually
rest
right,
does not
and
matter.
send it in the chat.
Pablo, you're biased. What the fuck?
Albert,
I'm not
Albert,
allowed
can you accept that we lost because of your poor planning?
Okay.
Exactly.
Guys, okay.
And
yeah.
your chat GPT arguments, please.
Oh.
Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining today's session. It was a really interesting debate. Lots of opinions, lots of arguments. It was awesome. Thank you so much. Also, there was a session that I was planning on having us all attend tomorrow from a partnership like we've got with another organization, Braver Angels from 8 to 11. But I think we've had enough today with about the 2 hours we've had here. So we're not going to be having anything tomorrow. Having said this, thank you so much, everyone, a referee.
Thank you.
And see you next time.
Yeah, thanks.
Don't cry at night. Don't worry, Albert. It's okay. You can just
Albert, don't cry. It's okay.
Don't cry. It's okay.
You just said an entire